Hello, this is the Single African Market, the program that's designed to bring you every activity around the vision of the continent of Africa to create one single market for its people so that nations can trade among themselves on the continent of Africa. Folks can move freely from one state to the other. And now quite a number of things have been happening here at the Africa Trade House. This week, for instance, the Minister of Africa of the United Kingdom was here to be telling you a lot about that. In the meantime, the Good Governance Africa says it is about time that the private sector begins to own the AfCFTA away from where government has brought it. The government of Ghana has re-echoed that with Ghana hosting secretariat of the African Continental Free Trade Area, there is no option but ensure that the AfCFTA does not fail, and has therefore called on the private sector to embrace AfCFTA from how far government has brought it.
We must note that the failure is not an option for Ghana as far as Ghana AfCFTA implementation is concerned. Therefore, I urge you to give the government your full support in making this historic milestone a success for Ghana and a thriving business community.
Addressing a stakeholder engagement forum on leveraging opportunities under AfCFTA to boost economic growth in Ghana, organized by the Good Governance Africa, a Deputy Minister of Trade and Industries in charge of micro, small and medium enterprises, Nana Amadokua Esiama Eji, in a speech read on her behalf, emphasized that beyond working hard to have the AfCFTA Secretariat in Ghana, the government of Ghana has also created the enabling environment for the private sector to own the AfCFTA and use it to their benefit and the benefit of Ghana and Africa as a whole.
We expect that the duty-free, quota-free market access for Ghanaians will foster structural transformation, enhance economic growth, stimulate investments, create jobs, amongst others. However, this cannot be achieved without strategically positioning ourselves, especially the private sector.
The board chairman of Good Governance Africa and chief executive officer of Private Enterprise Federation, Nana Osei Bonsu, concurred that it will take the collective responsibilities of private sector businesses to prepare themselves adequately to match competition that will arise as a result of AfCFTA.
It is our collective responsibility to ensure that we prepare our businesses to match up the competition that will be coming from other countries as a result of the implementation of the CFTA.
The Executive Director of Good Governance Africa, Tina Asantia Pietu, said GGA has come to the realization that continuous dialogues and the reviews of the AfCFTA should be a constant feature in the implementation pathway of the AfCFTA to identify and address emerging issues.
We are therefore committed to using our research and advocacy platforms to support this all-important and game-changing economic policy by the AU to ultimately help liberate the economies of member states and bring prosperity to all.
So as you heard, the government of Ghana says there is no way we're going to fail with this AfCFTA. So you better get along, tag along, and make sure that you contribute to make it happen. So the panelists at the same program, that's the Good Governance Forum, called for private sector involvement immediately and also urged that almost everything has been ready when it comes to Ghana's preparedness, but we are all looking up to the other countries as they also tag along. But it is doable. Addressing issues on the national technical implementation processes so far at the Good Governance Africa Stakeholder Engagement Forum on leveraging opportunities under AfCFTA to boost economic growth in Ghana, the head of multilateral, regional and bilateral trade at the Ministry of Trade and Industries, Mixon Opoku, explained that government has ensured that the private sector, through heads of business associations, have been part of all strategic implementation committees leading up to the drafting of the national AfCFTA implementation plan, and emphasized the need for the private sector to now take advantage of the AfCFTA after the national implementation plan is outdoored.
And you need to avail yourself as an industry to know some of this effort by government. When government table the discussion or the initiative to invest into some areas, they don't have enough money. But they will help you to appreciate the potential. The rest is for the industry to invest into research. But that knowledge is also not there. Because we think that once government has gone for an agreement, he should lead. Government's role will be to make sure the enabling environment is there for you. The policies are there.
Mixon Opoku revealed that effective trading under the AfCFTA may be more visible from October 2021 when the various regional economic communities submit their commitment offers for approval by the Assembly of Heads of States.
And we are expecting that by October, when Heads of States meet, they should be able to submit a final offers. The one ECOWAS has submitted will now become the final one for Ghana. And once the Heads of States adopt it as their decision, then we have every right to make it known to the private sector. But until then, we can also be engaging specifically on sectors and telling what is expected in October.
Fetching Akoto of the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority assured that Ghana has already aligned all its import and export procedures to facilitate trading under AfCFTA.
We have in place a tripartite arrangement of Ministry of Trade and Industry, Ghana National Chamber of Commerce, and Ghana Customs of GRE. We are working together as a team in order to process documents for export. First of all, we are starting with the registration of exporters, your origin criteria. You are registered and the code is generated for you as an after exporter. From there, you are good to go.
Meanwhile, the Ghana Union of Traders Association, Gov't, and the Ghana Association of Women Entrepreneurs, Gov't, charged the government to continue to make information on the AfCFTA available to the private sector in order for them to be able to take advantage of the agreement effectively and also educate other informal businesses.
SMEs forms about 80% of the companies in Africa here. So this AfCFTA project, its success, depends solely on, I can say mainly on SMEs. And so therefore, every policy initiative from either the AfCFTA secretariat or, respective, government, they must try as much as possible to engage these SMEs.
A number of stakeholder institutions like the Ghana Chamber of Commerce and Industries, the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, GIZ, Ghana Investment Promotion Council, and so on, deliberated on way forward for the successful implementation of the AfCFTA.
These goods are just on transit. They are not coming to Benin, but Benin have packed all those trucks there and are offloading, those trucks, examining the goods one by one for duties to be paid before those goods can pass. So these are some of the issues that if AfCFTA will be a success, we should look at it.
So in the single African market, what we try to do is to link the conversation between the conference rooms as well as what's happening on the field. So we don't forget to get closer to the people who are going to be the proper beneficiaries of the AfCFTA, and that is the micro, small and medium enterprises, the businesses and people who are out there. So this week, we are taking the conversation and the call for MSMEs to get prepared, get competitive ahead of the oncoming of the AfCFTA. To our entrepreneur for this week. Now, she has masters in accounting and she is a mushroom farmer. She's producing loads of mushrooms, supplying hotels and restaurants. She began with just 10 bags of mushrooms. Now she has about 50,000 bags of mushrooms. She's already supplying Cote d'Ivoire some mushroom seeds, and she hopes to capture the entire African market as the AfCFTA comes on.
My name is Fafafe Ama Echado. I started E90 Ghana Limited in the year 2015. At the time, I was reading my MPhil in accounting at the University of Ghana. There at the university, I came across an article on the mushroom industry in Netherlands. I was thrilled and curious to know more about mushroom. I realized that mushrooms do not only have medicinal benefits, but equally economic and environmental benefits. So I moved on to the food research to know more about mushroom. I started with only 10 bags, and now I have over 50,000 mushroom bags. So as you can see, we have a lot of the sawdust that we have already mixed with other agricultural waste like the rice bran and the quicklime. So all these are all organic products. There is no chemical involved. And we are preventing them, the sawmillers, from burning them into the environment. So this is the stage where after the sawdust and other agricultural products have been decomposed, we bring it here for bagging. So it's labor intensive, so an increase in market means an increase in employment of women and the youth. We are ready to take on other African countries, and these numbers will be doubled. So after the substrates have been bagged and well sterilized, the mycelium is being added to the compost bags. So we incubate them for about 6 weeks. So as you can see, the color dark brown is now changing into white. That should tell you that the mycelium is working and that the bags are getting ready for fruiting. So this room alone is having a capacity of about 30,000 bags.
I see.
Yes, and we have 6 cropping rooms in all. So that will tell you that we have the capacity to provide the whole of Africa. So the mycelium is a seed which is taken from an existing mushroom in the lab. So the entire process is organic. As you can see, I will take it off. So the seed is present inside the stem of the mushroom, but you cannot see it with your naked eye. So it's being picked at the lab by a microbiologist. So after 6 weeks of incubation, we bring them to the fruiting room. So those of the farmers that come for the mature bags from us, within a week, you start harvesting mushrooms. So people know Mushroom Queen for having clean and freshly harvested mushrooms every single day. So we supply hotels, restaurants, lovers of mushroom, and those who are health conscious, those who have underlying lifestyle related diseases like hypertension, diabetes, high cholesterol, blood cholesterol. This is the perfect substitute for protein for your immune system. They are edible fungi, but mostly considered in the vegetable family, especially the oyster can be turned into flake mushrooms. We have the mushroom kebab, we have the powdered mushroom that can be further processed into biscuits, into bread, and we have sandwiches coming from mushroom, samosa from mushroom, meat pie, all kinds of products from mushroom. And these it can be canned for export purposes. So currently we supply the market fresh mushrooms. We have the dry. We are yet to work on the canned mushrooms, which is part of our vision to can them because of taking advantage of the new opportunity of AfCFTA to be represented in most African countries. We are currently in Côte d'Ivoire supplying some of the mushroom seeds. Mushrooms are quite perishable. We want to add value, and if you add value, you earn about more than 70% of the value of the fresh one. So that is where we want to be for the African market. It's a welcoming news of the introduction of AfCFTA to us here in Ghana. Personally, I was overjoyed to see the possibilities of us moving to other African markets. We, especially the African women that are doing our little bits, will be given the greatest opportunity to expand. Imagine that I now have about 12 employees working on my farm and now having an opportunity to supply another country. That number is going to double, and that is the real impact that we are expecting that AfCFTA will bring to us here in Ghana. So we now have an existing capacity to produce over 100,000 bags, but due to market challenges, we are producing only 50,000. And we believe that when AfCFTA comes into full operation to open up the market to other African countries, we will be able to take advantage and produce more. We have trained over 100 women for free in mushroom production so far, and there is still an opportunity for you to get trained. So we've just supported a woman with about 30 bags that are ready for fruiting. We'll be following up to her place to see how she will handle them. We'll be training her, and we are empowering her to also start mushroom farming. She's very hopeful of having over 1,000 bags in her cropping room the next time we'll visit her. So this is the real empowerment we're talking about, creating job opportunities. We want others, if you are out there, you are a youth, you're looking for a job, you are a graduate and you're still looking for a job, try and look around you, see opportunities around you and take advantage of it. Come on board, I can train you. You can also be a mushroom farmer. It is the new age for entrepreneurship.
How does it taste? So this is one of the major vision of the single African market, to let those who are proper beneficiaries of the AfCFTA get to understand it and see how they can also benefit from it and utilize it properly. So you heard mushroom farmer, and I'm sure you're going to hear from the Secretary General of the AfCFTA shortly, telling us how enthusiastic almost all the MSMEs have become of the opportunities that AfCFTA has to offer. They are embracing it. That is why we're also going to them. We go to them because we want them to understand, and we want you also to understand and get involved. So the Minister of Africa of the United Kingdom was here in Ghana, and he was in particular here at the Secretariat of the African Continental Free Trade Secretariat. He met with the Secretary General, His Excellency Wamkele, and there was a signing ceremony. The AfCFTA Secretariat has signed a Memorandum of Understanding with the Government of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and the Northern Ireland to strengthen cooperation between the two in relation to trade facilitation, particularly along the Abidjan-Lagos corridor.
The Memorandum of Understanding falls into two broad areas of the AfCFTA, namely trade in goods, and in particular customs cooperation, transit, and trade facilitation. It also falls in the category of other areas of our work, including facilitating investment promotion in Africa through the use of the AfCFTA as a tool and a catalyst for investment.
The AfCFTA Secretary General noted that businesses are embracing opportunities that the AfCFTA presents.
We have also witnessed that during this period, the enthusiasm and the energy of our private sector to rise to the occasion and to take advantage of the AfCFTA, particularly small medium enterprises that are led by women and young entrepreneurs.
His Excellency Wamkele highlighted the significance of prioritizing trade facilitation in the attainment of the AfCFTA's objectives.
The United Nations Conference on Trade and Development estimates that where improvement in trade facilitation is achieved through the AfCFTA, $85 billion will be added to intra-Africa trade, and this will represent an increase of over 120% by the year 2022.
Narrating his experiences and happenings at some African corridors, the Secretary General emphasized that the AfCFTA Secretariat is focusing intensively on harmonizing customs procedures and border efficiencies.
I went to Kasumbalesa on the border with the Republic of Zambia. And there I witnessed trade facilitation challenges firsthand. Trucks lined up 5-6 kilometers along the Abidjan-Lagos corridor. Significant challenges remain. It takes 10 days for goods to transit from Ghana to Nigeria. So I hope that the MOU that we are signing today will give us an opportunity to address some of these challenges that are related to trade facilitation across the region.
He says all efforts are being made to address challenges of trade facilitation on the continent.
At the AfCFTA Secretariat, our program for the next few years is focusing on harmonization of customs procedures, transit, and trade facilitation across the African continent. With these and initiatives such as that of the UK, we intend to rewrite the story of trade facilitation in Africa.
The UK Minister of Africa bemoaned the low level of intra-Africa trade and the challenges encountered by traders on the corridors of Africa.
Many times as a tourist travelling through the continent, has seen the appalling nature of crossings and the appalling conditions of the vehicles and the time it takes to get across, effectively debilitating trade in most goods, let alone fresh goods. It is in the UK's interest to have a strong Africa trading with one another and being a force for good both within the continent and beyond the continent. But we are a long-term partner for Africa. We're a long-term partner for the Continental Free Trade Agreement.
So across the entire African continent, a lot of preparations are being done. People are preparing. Companies and businesses are getting ready to be competitive in this whole wave of the AfCFTA. This week, Ghana's own ABN David has been ranked Africa's #1 law firm of the year. Also, the AfCFTA Policy Network, that's After Policy Network, is celebrating 2 years of existence. Now, I can say that arguably they're the largest and also the first ever civil society organization that is spearheading the vision of the continent of Africa integrating its market. They have begun establishing branches everywhere across Africa. African Continental Free Trade Area Policy Network, APN, and Common Cause Zambia have signed a Memorandum of Understanding to collaborate on mutual purpose and cooperation aimed at implementing AfCFTA Policy Network related activities in Zambia. Common Cause Zambia will be the APN representative in Zambia, working towards enhancing the capacity of CSOs on the AfCFTA agenda in Zambia. This will be undertaken while drawing on the lessons from the AfCFTA pioneer countries' experiences and networks to amplify and enhance visibility of AfCFTA. The AfCFTA Policy Network, which is touted as the first civil society organization with focus on propagating the AfCFTA agenda, is celebrating its 2nd anniversary with a pledge to work more to the greater expectations of the AfCFTA. Its Group Executive Director, Louis Yao Afol, said, quote, "We're happy to have collaborated with many stakeholders and humbled to have opened the gate for many industry players today within the CSOs and business community."
Thank the Executive Director for really all the hard work that you have done. You were actually the very first NGO organization to be established in support of the African Continental Free Trade Area. So I congratulate you for that vision.
A Pan-African law firm headquartered in Ghana, ABN David Africa, has been named winner of the flagship award African Law Firm of the Year, Large Practice category at the 2021 edition of the African Legal Awards. The award, hosted by Legal Week and the Corporate Counsel Association of South Africa, is set out to recognize exceptional achievement from Africa's legal community. The announcement was made at an online event held on Friday, September 3, 2021.
African Law Firm of the Year Large Practice is AB and David AfCFTA.
Chairman and senior partner of the law firm, David Ofosu-Dote, remarked, quote, "It feels good to win this award at this time of Africa's growth, especially as it coincides with the implementation of the AfCFTA and the unfolding events of the new decade," unquote. The other awardee, Benti Encho, Lecha and Dankoma, emerged winners of the African Law Firm of the Year Small Practice category. So we say a big congratulations to AB and David Africa. Also, we say a big congratulations to the After Policy Network on their 2 years of existence and how far they have come, doing all that wonderful job to propagate the vision of the continent of Africa. Now, if you have to travel anywhere on the continent of Africa, coming up next on your screens, the flight schedules to all the African cities from the Kotoka International Airport here in Accra, the commercial capital of Africa, as well as the weather report for all African cities, the forex rate for African market, and the AfCFTA membership status. Thank you for watching. We'll see you same time next week.
There's a African rise and shine in the name of great Africa. It's a fight.